Hey, everybody. I ate pork rinds for lunch today, and you know what that means. That's right, it's time for another talking time-lapse video with me, your good buddy Josh Davenport. As always, the comics on RGBros.com and all the videos here on YouTube are brought to you by the fine folks at Patreon, patreon.com/Josh Davenport. That's Brandon, Dan, Vivian, Matt, Mike, and Tobias. Thank you all so much for your support. Today we are doing the talking time-lapse video for RG Bros Trolletries. I gotta say, I'm pretty excited about this one because this was so fun to draw. This one, if you see, we're already well into pencils on the first thing here. We got our little bathroom troll going. He was super fun to do. I started off almost getting a little wizard slippers, and then I changed it out to the hand feet that I gave him later, which I think was a much better idea. But this comic is inspired by the fact that I work in a building with a public restroom. I think I've mentioned it before, that I work at a college. And so there are tons of students in and out of the building I work in every day, and I use a restroom that is frequented by many of them. And even though these kids are, technically adults at this point in their lives, just like many adults who still don't know how to use the bathroom, apparently, because you go in there on any given day and look, the whew, pardon me, the custodial staff, they're very good. They do a good job cleaning up and everything, but it doesn't take 5 minutes after they've gone out for, some kid to run in there and be like, what would be a great idea is if I pissed all over this room. Just all over the room. Everywhere. Somewhere 10 feet away from the toilet. Like if you go into the handicap stall and the toilet is all the way on one side of it, and then there's like a good 3 to 4 feet over to the actual wall, somehow every once in a while somebody will take a leak over there. I'm just like, what is happening? Or every once in a while someone will just spit. Like, and not just a little bit of spit, like a big, like you feel like they sat there for like 10 minutes going like, and then just continued to hawk loogies. I've run into that. Now, like, these aren't the worst public restrooms I've ever been in my life. I think it's just because I frequent them so often that it gets me. I mean, like, they're not the same as like running into a scuzzy restroom, when you're on a road trip or something and there's horrible, like, racist graffiti all over the place. At least that's not going on. But still, college kids just urinate all over toilets and sometimes defecate all over toilets too. I mean, it happens. Maybe they got those pre-test jitters. It's causing the stomach to just go sour or something. I don't know, but whatever's happening there, it ain't pretty. But here we are, penciling in the final frame here. And I definitely changed Reggie's face up here because I did this first expression, and I felt like it was a little too much like he was either ashamed of what he had done or, or something like that. And that was not the emotion I wanted to give off there. Reggie is not, he doesn't have a lot of shame. So if he pooped his pants to get around this goblin's weirdness, then he would... I don't know whether he's absolutely proud of it, but he's not gonna, be upset that somebody saw him do it. I don't think. Oh, the little plunger hat. Yeah, getting the expressions on this troll just right. Like I said, it was just fun to draw. I don't know what else to say about it. I really enjoyed it. I think it came out pretty good. Even if you didn't like the joke, hopefully you enjoyed the art. Yeah, changed it a second time, and he was sweating. He was sweating through the whole thing just because sometimes you get the poop sweats. That's the thing that happens. They exist. But yeah, that face changed it up a couple times. Figuring out the I am actively pooping myself face for the second panel was fun too. But I figured it's been a while since I shared a toilet story with you all. I think I shared one before on here, maybe one or two. If I haven't, I'll go back and check. But definitely going to drop one on you today. And it is a doozy. This is not something like that happened. It's something that happened to me, but not something that was happening within my body or anything in the bathroom. But in the bygone age of like 2009 or 2000, yeah, I think it was 2009, when I was still working at a local Best Buy around here. I was on the job and I had to go take a leak, so I went into the bathroom. And when I went in there, like there was nobody else in the restroom except for one other guy who was in the stall, like the big handicap stall, taking the what sounded like the most violent crap of his life, just moaning and just you hear like explosive like sounds, and he's just like and like he just kept going on. But that wasn't the part. Like, look, that happens every once in a while. You just your stomach's not feeling right. Something like that can happen to anybody. But what made this so weird and crazy was that in the middle of all of this, the guy kept yelling out the name Chucky over and over. So he'd be like, "Oh, Chucky! Oh, Chucky! 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 Chucky!" And I was like, I got confused. So I was looking around like, there's not, like, I didn't like look into the stall, but like, that thing where you can like kind of gaze from far back to see if there's feet underneath. I was checking to see if there's like a little kid in there with him. There were no other feet. It was just dude's feet at the toilet. This guy was in there. I don't know what the deal was, but just constantly just Chucky, Chucky. Either he was being murdered by that doll from Child's Play while he was taking a horrific shit, or I don't know, maybe he was a huge fan of the Rugrats and he was just lamenting the fact that he wasn't going to see Chucky Finster anymore, because I think they're definitely off the air at that point, or he was too old for him or something. But whatever was happening, that person was having one of the worst shits a human being can possibly have, and their thoughts were only for Chucky at that point. So if you're that person and you're listening to this, let me know. What is the significance of Chucky in this situation? Why scream it while you're evacuating everything that's ever been in your bowels at the same time? Inquiring minds would like to know. Regardless, you've given me infinite joy in recounting that story. It was confusing and hilarious, and I hope you enjoyed the retelling of it as much as I enjoyed reliving it there briefly in my mind. Here we are in the inking process, and I think one of the reasons this one came out a little bit is I use a little bit thicker lines here and there. And I don't know, like I tend to do shading with a layer that's got the opacity turned like down to like 50 or sometimes somewhere between like 45 to 63, and then do shadows and highlights on that layer. But I think I got a little bit heavier with some of the inking lines in this comic, and I think it worked well. I'm not saying, I don't know whether it works out better to shade one way or the other, or do a combination of both. Maybe I should start doing a combination of both, doing a little bit more dark line, like pure black ink shading, and then drop the highlights and shadows on top of that. I don't know, maybe I'll experiment with it, but I think it worked out pretty well for this one. Nothing like drawing a good set of gums. Like the nose, I could have just gone with a color in there, but I think I just decided to just make it all black inside the nose hole. For all three of those, I think that added to it somewhat. Got to add the little liver spots here and there. Fit in Reggie's teeth. Man, yeah, I've got to go back and see what other toilet stories I've told all y'all. I don't think I went through this one, and if I did, let me know. But it's just weird stuff happens sometimes in the bathroom. I'm sure you've all been there in public restrooms. Like one time, I was out, I was on tour with this children's theater show, and we were at some museum somewhere in a town, and I think we all went to see like an IMAX nature documentary about turtles or something while we were there, because we were just looking for something to do to kill time. So going to the bathroom at that place, just using a urinal, and one of the guys who works there comes in and just out of 9 urinals decides to sidle up on the one next to mine. And that's just like, there's protocol to this sort of thing. And it's not about, being homophobic or anything like that. I don't think gay dudes are trying to look at my junk when I'm in a bathroom. I think anybody could care less. But for me, it's a privacy issue. I don't want someone right inside my personal bubble. Like, I don't want them in there in the best of times, when there's absolutely a full bathroom and they decide, somebody has to use the restroom right next to me. It's something that I don't like. Sometimes I get a slightly shy bladder, which I know you need to know, but it doesn't help. But when there's no one in the bathroom, and the guy comes and just like gets in the urinal right next to you, and then starts trying to strike up a conversation. And this is a dude who worked at this museum or whatever, and he was just like, "Whoo, that popcorn machine's kicking my ass today." I was just like, all right. I don't know what the proper answer to that is. Like, I was supposed to be like, I know, man. I'm always popcorning, and the machine doesn't like me. I don't know. And needless to say, it was kind of awkward. Oh yeah, dribbling poop out of the toilet. There's other fun things to draw. Urine puddles. Fun. That's some real. That's some real dehydration urine there. Pretty dark. So dark, the urine of man. Some hanging strands of toilet paper. Didn't really go overboard with the poop. I think when it starts bubbling up over the front of the toilet, that's good enough. You don't need it puddled around the base, although you could go that far if you wanted to. Add in the door. Yeah, I think it's just like the darker lines and the thickness of the line changing a little bit more in that the bathroom troll's head. Make it a little better. Yeah, again, working with this facial expression. The eyes, they just look too worried. There's too much sweat on his brow after the fact. Nothing like drawing some good poop noises, fart noises. You got to make them drip a little bit. A nice saucy fart. A few little stink lines. Yeah, we haven't gotten to it yet, but I think after I lay the dialogue in, that's when I go back and change that face in the last frame. Really had to work on getting the dialogue fit in the first frame there. I think it came together well. Sometimes you got to break it up when you got one person saying a lot of stuff in your panels. I think I used to just drop it all in a giant block of text, and I've learned since then to maybe break it up a bit. Break it up before you go. Yeah, here we go. Getting rid of the sweat. Changing the eyes. There's a little creepiness for you. That's more like, yeah, what of it? Maybe I did crap my pants. What are you going to do about it? That's how I always am. If I've pooped my pants in a public forum, I'm always like, what's your problem? It's certainly not the smell of feces coming off of me. Like we're all constantly crapping ourselves in public. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed all the toilet and potty talk and big boy poo poo pee pee talking in this video, because I'm an adult and I'll talk about craps and peas all day long. Minding your P's and Q's, I'll mind my poops and peas. But anyway, thanks for chilling out with me and watching this whole dang video. And I will catch you all on Saturday. Adios.